It's happening. Oh, so weird. Okay, now.
I don't know, fix it. Hello. All right, so what are we doing on this live?
It's a good time to ask the question. Talking about coffee and tea.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we wanted to try some things, see if anyone's on live right now, and then throw out some video ideas.
That would be fun.
Yes.
So, I guess we keep talking until people get here. We don't know how this usually works. We were actually.
If anyone is going to get here.
That's true. I know it is 1:30 on a Saturday Pacific Standard Time.
Who else doesn't have a life besides us?
I know. We're actually making YouTube lives.
We did stop at In-N-Out for lunch, though.
We did, because it was the right thing to do.
It was a very wise decision
for our health.
So we're thinking about our.
Oh, hey, Jared KR 1964, welcome.
Hello.
We just did a totally random firing up of the live just to see if anybody needed a little bit of support for this Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, because we were talking about getting to work, and so we were wondering if anybody else was.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn that down though, just in case. We got a TV playing relaxing music.
Ambiance.
Hey, Biff Boffo. All right, so what's in our In-N-Out order?
Oh, you're listening. Good job. That's very impressive.
Yeah.
Wait.
We're gonna be doing that soon after this.
Our In-N-Out order, or what we're talking about now?
Yes. This is what's your In-N-Out order?
Number 2, extra onions.
Yeah, both regular and grilled. We're big on onions.
We love our onions.
Yeah, so we each pretty much got a number 2, and then we also got a little puppy patty for Leia.
Yeah, you got them too, because we didn't want her to feel left out. So.
Yeah, so she's living her best life. Now she's knocked out. Although she was just super excited for some reason when we sat down. She's like, "Oh, great, you guys are here. This is awesome." And then she
gets excited up.
Yeah, she just went and sat on her own over there.
It's the oh, I was gonna say the meat sweats, but
it's the doggy equivalent of the meat sweats.
Joey meat sweats.
Oh, you don't have that restaurant.
Oh,
yeah. Well, it's okay. Every area kind of has its place. It just happens to be that for us, In-N-Out was the easiest for us. We were on our way doing something else, and then for us, if we see that the line is super short for In-N-Out, we just jump on it, because otherwise, if the line's long, we try to not get tangled up in that stuff.
It can be intense.
Yeah, but that's awesome that you're listing JRKR 1964, because right after this, we're also going to be going and doing some listing as well. That we plan on in a future video, either live or just doing pre-recorded. We do plan on showing our setup, but we just got a huge amount of inventory in that we're still sorting. And so if we showed it right now, it'd just be kind of a little bit of chaos.
Oh yeah, animal style burgers.
Hey, Cornhusker Pickers here. Hey, welcome, Cornhusker.
Hello. And we don't do the animal style burgers very much, but the animal style fries, we do get those. We get those sometimes, so they're pretty good. Okay, so Biff, I have a question for you. How did you come up with your name for the Biff Boffo? Because we were talking about, so we have a Biff in our family. And my mom was watching the live a couple days ago, and she's like, "How did he get his name?" I was like, "Actually, I don't know."
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, I'd like to know how you found your name.
Yeah, Rose's mom has been now going through the lives and going through the videos, and she's like, "I know, who's this person? What's? I got to know the backstory." So she's super interested in everybody's name and backstory, cool. And it's actually really funny how much she's taken interest to it. And also, you'll see periodically we've got a really good relationship with our tax professional. He's super intuitive when it comes to resellers and taxes and stuff.
We actually even started a business because of him.
Yeah, and even it was he was the very first one that was you guys really would probably benefit yourselves if you started a little YouTube channel just to be better involved with the community and everything. And so, and boy, was he right. It's been so interesting. And Jen, well, nice to meet you. I've got a sister, Jen. So your name is awesome. It's great. Really nice to be able to make that connection there.
Okay, well, now I'm wondering about the JRKR. How'd you get the JRKR?
Yeah,
how people get their names is actually always an interesting story.
That is, yeah. So JRK 1964, we know, well, she's right in the middle of the listing. We're going to pull her up. Like, just stop whatever you're doing and focus on our
I know,
thing.
we want to know. Like,
But yeah,
inquiring
you've piqued our
minds.
curiosity though. So maybe not now, but at a future date, we'd love to
Just
find out
so
the
we are
backstory.
interested.
Yeah, we'd love to find the backstory of your name. And also, Cornhusker Picker. I would imagine there's some kind of relation to the Midwest, but I don't want to make an assumption.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
awesome.
awesome.
Mine have his name.
Yeah,
You were.
that's really smart. The initials.
That's adorable. You guys were born the
That's
same year.
really
That's
cool.
awesome.
Okay.
That's super cool.
It's the name of a high school teacher used for grammar exercise.
There's no point to it. Which is funny, Biff Buffa, because otherwise, you know, your name might have a specific, like, no other point to it, but whenever you share a point, it's always very specific. And, like, you're really good about being very detailed and on point with your comments.
I
So.
love how you see.
And Mike Sellers here. Hey, Mike. Hey, so good to have you with us. This is so wild. I mean, we always just really love seeing all of your comments on all the stuff that Primo Chemo and Spam Banshee do. But yeah, now to see you guys on here, where it's actually like it really hit our hearts, the fact that you guys would even take a minute out to join.
I know.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it definitely it's a humbling experience having all these other people join us. It's really fun.
Well, we do want to make it productive. As you guys are.
But first, before you say that, I do want to tell Biff. Okay, so Biff. So the reason why I have such an interest in that name is so my little brother.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Okay.
My little brother is named Christopher, and people tease me. I don't think I have a speech impediment, but I have a slight speech impediment. But when I was younger, I could not pronounce his name, Christopher, my younger brother, and it would always come out Biffifer. And I would always be like, Biffifer, Biffifer. And so everyone in my family started calling my younger brother Biff. And then, of course, there's the Biff from Back to the Future, which is totally awesome too. But so that's why when
and also Seinfeld, they
call
it's
George
like in season
Biff.
2. It's only season 2. They call George Biff. And it's like whenever he does something disappointing, oh, Biff.
Oh, Biff. Yeah. And then, well, okay. So that one kind of makes it like not a great name. But then, well, first my little brother, Biff, Biffifer, that's awesome. And then the Biff from Back to the Future, he does turn out to be a cool guy in the long run.
Yeah, but so whenever we saw your name, Biff, especially for Ro, like in the comments, she zeroed in on your name. It's like, oh, Biff, Biff Buffa. And she's like, oh, I got to find out what's going on with his name. And Mike, yeah, thank you so much, Mike, for being ready to show support. You really are. We see you like across the board in a lot of places providing support and all that stuff. And that's awesome. Oh,
you guys had tornadoes yesterday, like legit.
Oh, wow.
I actually didn't even know that.
Wait.
I hope everyone.
Okay. Tornadoes. Okay, I read that as tomatoes, and I was like, did they have a tomato-related event yesterday? Okay, I'm glad you specified. Yes, sorry about that. Let's see. I'm Christopher. Oh, let's see. I'm Christopher, but Chris.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and her brother's name starts with a K, which for me, like that tripped me up. I'd never run into a Christopher with a K before.
Well, like you could spell it both ways. It doesn't really matter.
That's true, but it's after
it still makes
Chris
sense.
Christopherson. So.
I can't believe I told you that. I forgot I told you
that. Let's see here. Yeah, Christopher, but Chris. Well, that's cool. Yeah, so apparently everybody in the chat, we have siblings with their names.
Yeah, that is true.
Like so far, everybody's
You're
like naming
themselves.
Yeah, you all have names of family members. Like, are you family members?
Wow, yeah, those tornadoes. That does. I mean, of course, we get earthquakes, and we did get a tornado.
Yeah, we got a tornado warning the other day, which is wild for here, but the winds were nuts. And we actually had an experience just a couple years back where we just moved into the place we're at right now, and we're a part of a duplex, so like we're the upper level, and it was really funny that we had a little gazebo that we bought, like a little temporary one that we set up on the back porch. We found out that it's super windy because
it was a very heavy metal, very sturdy. I can't stress it was extremely heavy.
Yeah, the thing was like 1,000 pounds. I mean, it was
not that heavy.
It wasn't 1,000 pounds, but for us, it was so heavy.
Very sturdy.
Yeah, we thought it was super sturdy and heavy. We had talked about like fully fastening it down, but we didn't know how windy it got here.
Like, it's fine.
Yeah,
it's so heavy. It's
like one day I'm at work and I get a call and it's just like, hey, so like we think this is your gazebo, and it had like
middle of the street.
It had gotten like sucked off the back porch, rolled up into this giant like crazy ball, and was like rolling down the street like Indiana Jones, and it was like, Okay, cool, nice.
So
That's
we
like
learned a lesson.
that wasn't a stressful day at work. Getting
Yeah.
that phone call.
But yeah, we wouldn't do well in a tornado.
It is truly unbelievable the fact that it had to roll down a driveway, didn't hit like several of the cars that are parked there, and didn't somehow like roll into the street and hit another car. It was like
Yeah.
there was a lot of lessons learned that day.
So yeah, we Jen just said, I know it's JRKR 1964, but she just said that it's super windy here today.
Mhm.
We get some pretty high winds, and I hate wind. It's probably the weather I like the least. I
Oh
would rather have
man,
snow than that.
Cornhusker, so sorry, man. That's
I need to refill here.
unbelievable. Whole neighborhoods are gone,
That's
man.
how did I not know about this yet?
Yeah,
Like,
is
apparently
that
you don't
near to
look at
where
the
you are?
news. Oh, neighborhoods are gone. Wow.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Wow. It's like I kind of want to look.
This might be a little bit of PTSD from my wife. Because we've talked about like especially early on in our marriage, like where we want to live and everything, and we'd kicked around some areas, and she's like Tornado Alley is something that really
I'm
was
like
like
that's kind of I don't know. I mean
I
I grew
don't
up with
freak out about them, but
earthquakes, so I'm like that's like one natural disaster that He is absolutely
hey,
correct.
Spam Banshee's on! Woo!
Hey, Spam!
Yay! You guys made the live again. A surprise live number 2. But we're so glad you guys made it. That is absolutely rocking.
Wow. Yeah, we're gonna have to.
That is
I'm gonna check that out later.
That is so fantastic. Yeah. Yeah.
Hello.
Yay! I know we're yay. That's super cool. Let's see here.
Go back.
Let's see.
That is so cool. Okay, I'd rather have a blizzard.
I don't know what Ryan Hall is, Biff Buffo. Maybe I'm just out of the zeitgeist with that, but if it looked bad, well then I'm glad I'm not watching it. So or maybe it was the news
right now. Hello, Spam. Good to see you.
But yeah, well, hopefully Cornhusker really quick, but hopefully you and all your family and everybody you know is okay. But really sorry sorry that Nebraska's going through that
and
at all.
thanks for letting us know too. Because actually, now that I actually did see a video of that last night, and I thought that was a tornado that happened a while ago, not one that was recent. So that's
I hadn't even
super scary. I saw a video of like them going down a freeway with a tornado very near.
Yeah, that's wild. I hadn't seen that.
Yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, so
oh, it's the YouTube weatherman. Oh, he does lives in his storm chasers. Okay, thanks for explaining that, Beth. That's really helpful to know.
That is interesting. Okay, we should write that down. We'll check him out too. So we should talk about what we were thinking about doing for some lives.
Yeah, so again, we always like these to be productive for everybody. So what we're kind of kicking around the idea of doing, but we'll see what the feedback and interest is.
If anyone would be interested in it, if it'd be fun for you.
Yeah, so for us, we start pretty early in a typical day, and then we usually are running pretty late into the evening. But what we're thinking about doing is like, especially for midweek, like around 6 a.m. Pacific time, which would be 9 a.m. Eastern, because we have to wake up that early anyway, like jumping on and doing like a 10 or 15 minutes, just like little, we would do like major mornings. It was our joking thing.
Yeah, we were trying to come up with like a cool name. We were thinking like morning coffee or major coffee stop or you know, coffee date or something.
Really hard to come up with a concept for something brand new with that.
But yeah, where we could all talk about kind of like what our goals are for the day, what some of the things that we want to accomplish so that we can like rally together and encourage each other. Yeah,
because I think for us right now, like when we were looking at what would really help, because we don't want to jump in there and just be like okay, we're here now and just share what we do. It'd be kind of interesting to create a better environment to where we can, and I mean, all of that still happens. All of us are on many of the different chats and things, but we're looking at it like, whoa, it'd be nice to have like an upstart where we all kind of like jump on really quick, not super long, but like long enough to have a cup of coffee, talk about what your goals are for the day, and it might inspire some of us too to be like, you know what, actually I was going to do option A.
It would inspire me totally, because now I'm like I could commit to things like, okay, I'm going to do this today, and then at the end of the day I'd be like, well, did I actually do that?
Yeah, so I think it'd be really fun.
It's an accountability partner.
Yeah, and then for us too, again, because we're usually up so late, we're thinking that like around 7 or 8 for most evenings of the week, that we hop on. Like that one we probably wouldn't do every single day, But if we hop on and just are like, okay, well, for anybody that wants to jump in now, how well did you reach your goals?
You're
Like,
making
was
us
there?
sound like we get no sleep ever. We're up
We
so early, and then we stay
okay.
up really late.
We don't get that much sleep. Like, I mean,
We
I don't
should-
think I'm
we should work on
under
that.
or overselling this. That it's like we do try to we do really try to make the most of our time. In fact, when we first got married, Ro would always tell me, "Oh, I hate sleep. I hate having to sleep. I hate."
sleeping.
And then now it's like, well, we gotten over that problem. Like that's
The
like loving to sleep
pandemic
is gone.
cured me from that. Yeah,
Yeah.
sleeping was such a waste of time. I mean, I understand it was necessary, but it was such a waste of time. All those things I could be doing while I was sleeping. And then the pandemic happened, and then I was like, sleeping is pretty good, actually. It's not too bad.
Okay, I have to ask, what is a death tote? Jen, that is like, what is a death tote? I'm almost afraid to ask. And it's like, oh, well, it's a bag of parts of things.
Isn't that just like a death pile?
Is it like a death pile?
I think it's just like a death pile.
If you are that organized, Jen, to where
That you only have a
everything
tote?
yeah, if you have a death tote,
That's
then
impressive.
our hats off to you because
Yeah.
that is incredible.
Yeah, like we
List from a
have
death tote.
death piles. Like it's totally fine.
Hey, hello, Silver Hair Stackers here.
Hello.
Welcome. It's so great to see you.
I love that little thumbnail.
Yeah, that's so funny. No, yeah, you're the Silver Hair Stacker we've been here. No, we see you in a few different areas, Silver Hair, and it was actually really cool. We've appreciated your comments in Primo Chemo and Spam's chat for a long time, but it was really nice too that we just happened to be watching Flippin' Ain't Easy yesterday. And it was so nice when you were asking about us and everything. And it's so weird now to be part of the conversation besides just being chatter in the chat and everything.
Yeah.
But you all have been so generous with us, just with giving you time. And oh, Silver Hair Stacker, I know. Okay, so here's a funny. Do you want to tell us a funny story?
Which one? There's so
There's a funny story, but it's like,
which one?
well, you gotta go with first date or just how everything turned out with our. You want to explain the difference in our
ages?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
So here's what's frustrating for me, Silver Hair Stacker, is when we were first getting to know each other, and we got to know each other through friends of friends, and I was like, okay, well, you know what? I think she's really cute and everything, and then I'm like, yeah, and you know what? She seems like pretty close in age. Like I'm probably just a few years older than she is, and we have our first date, and this person in front of us was just like really giving us a hard time. Wanting to find out our ages. And so she turns to me and she asked me my age, and I gave her like some age that's like 5 years off or whatever, because she didn't have any reason to know my business or anything. And I was joking around. And then when Ro gives the age, she's like dead on to what her actual age is. It happens to be that she's about 4.5 years older than I am. And so when we get back to the car, she's like, "Why did you tell him that you're at this like crazy older age?" And I was like, "Well, why did you tell them that you're this crazy older age?"
What are you talking about? You told her that you were this age. I'm like, that is
I was like, "Well, why did you tell him that you're like 6 years older than you obviously are?" And she's like,
I'm like,
hello.
I wasn't lying.
Yeah, it's like I told her my honest age, and I was like, okay. And that was actually kind of it was a cool moment, really, because that was definitely one of those things of like, you know what, especially for us getting started, age was not an issue. Like I've got family members. I'm the youngest, but I was like total surprise. And so for me, anything I ever knew, I was always taught from like my older sisters, and they were like really ahead of me in the things that they liked and all that stuff. And so it was really funny that when Ro and I got together, it's been the entire thing of our marriage is I look like I'm 10 years older than she is. And it's like, yeah, and she's knocking it out of the park. I mean,
you don't look 10 years older.
No, but anyways, it's funny that you mentioned that about the whole Darth thing, because yeah, I'm grateful. I'm just grateful to have her in my life, and that was a good reminder that age really is not. I mean, you have to be balanced. You don't want to be like, there's reasonableness that's involved there, but really, age is not a factor when you really connect for.
But yeah, I'm proud of my age. I've turned 40. He's still in his 30s. So
yeah, we're missing a bunch of comments here. I see the cheery face. I want to make sure we don't.
Oh, that's between Spam and Cornhusker.
Oh, Cornhusker. Wow. See, your neighbors are gone. Oh man, is it just that their house is gone?
No, I don't think that has to do with the tornado.
No. All right, maybe we'll just let them have their maybe we'll just let them have their sidebar.
I know. I'm kind of curious about that too, because I didn't think that
But
meant like.
yeah, well,
John
circling back on that
too.
really quick, Cornhusker, we wish the best for you, your
I know.
family, all your
It's
neighbors.
very
We're so
scary.
sorry that you guys went through all that.
It's very scary. Yeah, just the quick pictures that I looked up on the news is quite devastating.
Man.
But Jen did say that she has more than a totes. So thank you for making us feel better.
Yeah. We have
Like,
bags.
wow, you have
bags
a tote
of...
that's unlisted. That's spectacular. We're so happy for you. Yeah, we have way more than many totes. Like the Mary Poppin totes, we'd still have many Mary Poppin totes.
At Silver Stacker, yeah, I love that latest comment that you have, but just know that, so for my family, it's a thing where on the guy's side of the family, we just wait until we're like almost in our like in our mid 40s before we have a child, and it's been like multi-generational, going back even to my grandfather and everything. So it's funny, the stuff that I like to talk about when I was growing up, I really had trouble relating, especially because everything my dad taught me about, like, again, my dad taught me about like the Lone Ranger. Like my dad isn't even the boomer generation. He's the generation before that. And I was so grateful for that. Like he is a solid, really great guy. So we don't really look at it at that relative scale. So just so it's just really nice that I think for both of our sides of our family, we've had such a mix of generations that we just don't even really, that just doesn't even come up on our radar, which is fun.
Well, and technically, what we tease about is he reminds me, well, not like he reminds me all the time, you're older than me, but he knows things from the past that I have no idea about. He actually is a much older soul than I am. His knowledge is impressive. So that's why we say our age difference doesn't even matter, because it's not even.
That's actually what I love about Primo Kima, though, because he'll drop some knowledge about some references, and I'm like,
you can keep up with him.
I love that I get that reference.
I'm always like I have no idea what that
is. He'll mention like the Rockford Files or something. I'm like, okay, now that's a very specific, like James Garner, circa like 1970. It's really like, it's funny.
And I think I live it with my head in like a hole in the ground, because I was watching this video where they were showing like songs from the 90s, like when you're like, oh yeah, this is my jam. Half those songs I didn't even know. I was like, I don't know this song.
Yeah.
And that's really sad.
It's really funny. But yeah, so again, Cornhusker, I just want to make sure that we don't overlook his comments there. So spam, no, not my neighbors. The major damage was about 15 minutes from me. But yeah,
15 minutes. That's
like, close enough.
Like what spam says.
Too close for my comfort.
Way too close. That's really scary.
But yeah. Oh, actually, did spam just say too close for comfort too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome.
I thought you were reading her comment when you said that.
No, that's funny.
No,
Maybe
like
I subconsciously saw it and read that. But again, Cornhusker, we really
and fires
want you to be okay.
Yeah, well, and
what's going on?
Silverhair said 85 degrees here, and we have fires going. So.
And Silverhair, what region of the U.S. are you in?
Because we get fires frequently.
We had to evacuate like twice due to the fires coming through. Remember the old Thomas fires and all that stuff? It was like smoke pouring into our.
We couldn't see the sun
into our home while we were trying to evacuate everything.
No, fires are. Oh, Texas.
Texas. Oh wow. Yeah. From the Republic of Texas. That is really funny.
Texas is.
We actually the first like major trip that we took to the first major trip that we took after we got married was actually out to Texas. We went out. We saw like the silos out there for, was it Waco, Texas? And,
we went to
and we saw like the come and get it thing.
Magnolia.
And
went to the Magnolia Farms.
I was out there for a work trip, and so we're just like, let's explore.
We also went to go see. This is really funny because I can't remember it.
The Riverwalk.
The Alamo.
And the Alamo.
Like, remember the Alamo? No, I can't remember what it is.
That was so funny when we went to the Alamo. It was
lived 35 miles from Waco. That was really, really fun trip.
That's amazing. So we've driven right past you. So Stacker. That's so funny. Well, I've got a ton of family members that, although born and raised in Ventura, California.
Don't tell them that, because Texans hate when Californians move to Texas.
Well, trust me, at this point,
stay out,
but this is like way back before it was the hip thing to do. We're talking like decades ago, but yeah, they're full on. You see them now, and they show up, and they got like the cowboy hats. They got like spurs on.
They do.
They're like, okay, you guys have gone like, you're like in it now. You're committed to the whole Texas.
You two are the young pups.
You're young pups,
and we're still learning. We're learning every step of the way.
Yeah, Cornhusker, tell that to my back, all right? Because Like to quote, what is it, Indiana Jones? It's not the years, it's the mileage, and definitely, well, yeah, it's absolutely one of those things of
It's not the year, it's the mileage.
it's not the years, it's the mileage, which is funny too. That like again, we're driving a car that's about 20 years old with 350,000 miles on it. She's running strong though.
But help us come up with some names too, because we were thinking for the morning session, we were thinking of, because we are Major Win being kind of clever, trying to be clever.
Trying to be clever.
Yeah, trying. We were thinking like maybe like Major Mornings. That could be kind of fun. But then we were thinking for the evening wrap up, we were like, okay, well, we were like winning wrap up. Or
winning were wrap up. winning were
like,
wrap.
what's a word that's like for evening that starts with a W? And what were you saying, like weaving?
Yeah, winning weavenings or something. Yeah, it's like we're not. It's not.
I'm like, I
right.
can't even say that, so no, we can't do that. But we were trying to come up, because what we were thinking is if we did a wrap up at the end of the evening, then we could talk about some of our major wins for the day.
Oh, Samara, you're hilarious. That's so funny.
We've been called that before.
Yeah, it's like I think that's just what you're calling us, as opposed to like a name for. I hope he's like referencing the pain in the back.
Yeah, that's true, probably.
But probably not. He's just like trust me, this is fitting.
You've actually had back issues, so yeah, that is something to think about.
It is really funny. I'm 6'3", and so like what I ended up going through was the whole thing of feeling like an invincible 20-year-old, and so I'm lifting stuff, putting on very high shelves, and it's crazy heavy. And then one day, it's like my back was like, all right, you're turning a corner, buddy. Like, yeah, you're gonna remember this. But yeah, that is so funny. But actually, one thing we should talk about with the group, just because it'll be fun and it's nice background chatter for those that are in attendance. We've mentioned a couple times in the chat that we are probably the only resellers on here that have hit a live bear with our car, which again, technically, we were the ones that were hit. Bears? Yeah, you really messed up. Like, you did not even see that thing, and it was right there. But yeah, so major height. Oh, Silverhead Stacker, you know what you're stacking up right now? You're stacking up names. Like, you got it on lock. But yeah, so we could, I guess let's talk about that for a quick minute. That'd be kind of fun for somebody going back and be like, hey, let's talk to the only resellers that, at least that I've heard of, that have hit a bear with their car. But again, I can't emphasize enough. The bear hit us.
It's very important. The bear hit us.
Which is actually like even more like just bizarre of how this whole situation happened.
Actually, the major wrap up, that is pretty good.
Yeah, major wrap up.
That is pretty good.
Yeah. We just want something to where it's like, if somebody needs a cup of tea to kind of, close out the evening, look back and have somebody else that appreciates the work.
Because you always remember the stuff that you didn't do at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get to get this done. I didn't. But let's celebrate the wins that you did have.
Yeah.
And I mean, you did good. Let's focus on the good.
Yeah. I like that. Focus on the good. That's, I mean, that's going to be like the tag of our channel. Let's focus on the good. Like, we're all.
Because, we're all entrepreneurs, and we're all trying to, do our own thing. And we're going to beat ourselves up with the things that didn't go well, or the things that you're like, oh, I could have had more sales there, but don't focus on that.
Yeah.
What were your major wins? What did you get that was like cool? I need to celebrate that.
I think that should, again, I'm in agreement. Like, yeah, we're the ones that are talking about
this, which is why we decided
I like it. I like where your head's at with this.
Conversation beforehand, we were like, let's just go live and see what other people think.
Yeah, but anyways, okay. Well, should we?
We'll get back. Bear story.
Okay, we'll get back on the bear story. I say, wow, we got so many concepts that'd be fun to talk about. Again, to Primo and Spam and anybody else that's ever doing these lives, it is so 100% real. Like when you start to get on a train of thought and then something sidetracks and you got to pull it back and get it back on track. So it's hard work. We appreciate even more how much you juggle that. And again, we got like 9 or 10 people on right now, and you guys manage it when there's like 70. So
I know
it's unbelievable.
Do not know how you guys do that.
Yeah, you guys are incredible for that. Okay, well, bear story. So we had a family day, and we had like all of my side of the family were all together, and we were up in
2
full cars of people, and we were up in Yosemite, and we were exploring around. And let's see, talk a little bit about your biz and what you all sell. We sure will.
He's
Silver
like, we
Hair
don't care about your bear
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, yada yada yada. So actually we will make this concise. But we were outside of Yosemite, and I was the only one all day that was like, "Hey, I really want to see a bear. I think it's gonna be awesome if we
We
see a
were
bear."
trying hard to see a bear.
Everyone else is like, "Dude, the last thing we want to see today is any kind of bear." Well, we're cruising along, and we're going not too quick. We're going like the
We
speed
were
limit and
outside of
everything.
the park though by this point. We had just exited the park.
Yeah, we're outside of the park. It's dusk, and we're cruising along, and I'm the driver, and all of a sudden you see this huge shadow come like out of the side of your peripheral vision, and it almost looks like a car, but just without its lights on and everything. And then all of a sudden, like you realize, like, okay, how it's moving. It's not like a car. It's not moving like straight. It's kind of like bounding along. And by the time I saw it, like I could get barely any words out, and I'm applying the brake, and all of a sudden it's like boom, and you got this bear up on the hood
Happened
of the
so
car,
fast.
and it's like that moment in your brain when you realize, like, wow,
Because he did get to scream. He was like, "Oh my god, a bear!" And then it was on the car.
Yeah, we started to apply the brakes so we weren't going that fast, but the bear was up on the hood of the car. And what's unbelievable though, and I just want to set the tone for this, the bear turned out to be totally fine.
Bear was fine.
The car, totally not. In fact, it was like $1,000 under getting like just completely totaled.
Almost total.
But what's crazy though, so we started applying the brake.
And it was
the
a
bear,
brand new car.
The bear rolls off the hood, lands back on her feet, kind of like does this little dance thing, and then she ends up going flat and she ends up spitting out. And there's this weird moment where you look over and like we make eye contact, like this is weird. Yeah, it's super strange. But she ends up like getting up, shaking it off. And even though for like all the damage that she did to the car, she ended up being okay. She had a little cub with her that she just went and gathered up, and we talked to the police later, and there was like no evidence of her.
Yeah.
Like no evidence of her having an injury except for the fact that it was like this giant California flag imprint on the front of the car. It's like this huge bear-shaped smush on the front. But yeah, so it was just really wild that for the next few minutes, like everybody that showed up, like when the policeman showed up, it was like, wow, my first bear. Call the insurance guy, wow, my first bear. Like everyone is just freaking out. Tow truck driver, same thing. Wow, my first bear. And but yeah,
Jen's like, be careful what you wish for. That is absolutely true. The whole day he kept saying, I really want to see a bear. Really.
Yeah. I was the one wishing and not realizing what I was wishing
almost
for.
Because we were the front car, so the car behind us, our family members got to see the bear much better because the headlights were obviously shining on it. But it was so funny because he did get to see his bear. But the police officer also did remind us that we're really lucky because a lot of times they come through the window because they don't use their peripheral vision, so they just run and then they'll come through like your car door.
Yeah. And then, so like a bear head just all of a sudden in the car with you as you're driving along.
So he was like, you guys were really lucky. And then because we were driving so slow that the bear didn't get injured. So it really was best case scenario. But it was very interesting.
Yeah.
So we learned a lot.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's the quick summary of the bear story. Because actually I do appreciate Silver Hair Stacker getting us on track. For those that are listening and wanting to be productive while listing, we do want to keep the chatter something to where it'll keep your brain in the right frame of mind. So thank you very much for that. Yeah, exactly. Very believable. Silver Hair Stacker is going to be like,
these are like these
firing things up
awesome.
for these. Yeah.
And you're like on it. You must have had
a little doggo just showed up. She's like, I would love. But okay, so let's actually talk about those things, like what you sell, where you store, etc. So let's take on those first two of what we sell and where we store. So when we first got started, we started with selling the items that we had in our home, and so it was really closet buildup that we started to just try to get listed on eBay. I keep wanting to say eBay for YouTube and YouTube for eBay. Yeah, but yeah, we started to list on eBay. And Ro was really the one that got us started. She started with a local sales, but then she was also the same one that got started with eBay first. So she already had like a running account and all those different things.
Yeah, it was just because we were trying to downsize. So we had a lot of things that still had value. So we just decided to sell them. So some of our clothing and just some of our household things. And then when we started to really decide to do eBay full-time, we actually, or not full-time, part-time. But when we started doing, there were a lot of toys that you knew a lot about that you knew had good resale value. So we did toys and it quickly kind of morphed a little bit more into a bit more clothing because clothing is fun for us. We do enjoy it. It is easy to store and stack. So we also appreciate that. But clothing is kind of our preference, but we'll sell books. Definitely the toys, the baseball cards.
Yeah, we're definitely still everything
Um,
sellers, but we have
Sell
a
some
we
fun
have a niche
china.
leaning for clothing for sure.
Yeah.
Mm.
Clothing is definitely like my favorite to do. I do really enjoy clothing. And
Yeah.
even like especially because when we first kind of started getting into it, we were buying some pallets that had kids clothing, and neither of us at all were excited about kids clothing. Like they were a nuisance to us. We were literally giving them away to friends, like, please take these clothes. But then what I started really getting into was making clothing outfits for kids. And we don't have kids yet, but I really enjoyed making the outfits, and my outfits started selling pretty well. So that made me excited about selling more kids clothes.
You're about to hear a little
Yeah, she's
dog toy
attacking her
get
dog toy.
torn up. She's like,
She's really
we're
excited
doing
right now.
something right now. So yeah, you can hear that the tearing up noises in the background.
Yeah, poor little guy.
But yeah, so that's our little dog Leia, silver hair. And so yeah, she's 8 years old, but she's a real sweetie. She's absolutely,
Yeah, I get what
she
you're
gives us a
saying.
lot of delight.
What Jen's saying about I would try to avoid most clothes.
Mhm.
That I absolutely do get that, but I think like I don't know, especially when we started having the success with the kids clothes, that's when I suddenly started getting really excited about it, because also making the outfits is fun. So I enjoy making the outfits. I'll put the things together. I match up all of the size categories, and then I'll try to make cute outfit sets. So a lot of times I'll do like multiple leggings with some matching tops, almost kind of like a little capsule wardrobe. And because kids' clothes are so small, they're easy to fit in like one package.
Yeah.
And then if you're a parent, then you just look on there and it's like it's already this outfit that's put together for you, these different items, and it's just easy to click and buy. And so I don't know, that made me really start enjoying kids' clothes.
Yeah, the challenge is we got a lot of nieces and nephews.
And baby clothes are cute. You are correct. Baby clothes are so cute.
That's so true. And the challenge is we have a lot of nieces and nephews, and so we'll find something that's super cute that's going to sell well, and it's like, well, we're going to save it off to the side because we know that.
Well, we do that too.
That they're going to love it.
It is also good anytime one of our friends gets pregnant, so we just go to our store. What do we have?
Yeah, it is kind of funny, like when something does come up, and I'm sure this happened to like all of us here for something.
A last minute gift or something.
Yeah, and you go to your inventory and you're like, all right, what do we have? What do we have in stock?
We don't have time to go shopping yet, so we have done that.
So, Jen, what do you sell? Like, because that would be really fun to hear what you're really involved in and selling.
Yeah, especially like if you avoid clothes, like have you sold clothes? But
yeah, I think she might have shared that the other night too. But there was like so many messages, and we weren't used to like keeping track of everything. But yeah, so effectively we're into clothes because I mean, first of all, too, the first exposure we had to any kind of reselling was really daily refinement, and he taught all about the process where it shows you how.
Well, and my first eBay sales before we knew anything, they were clothes. It was my old clothes.
Yeah, and now like now there's some divergence for sure of his operation versus what really makes sense for us. But again, we for anybody, even if it's a process that doesn't really mesh well with ours, we still like to look at it as a whole and see if there's pieces that we can plug in that would make sense
from everybody. Yeah, everybody has little bits and things that work well for them.
Yeah,
we take ideas from everybody.
Yeah, but yeah, so we primarily deal with clothing because it is so easy to store. So if you look at our arrangement right now, we're primarily using like about half of our garage as bin storage, and so we stack them about 5 high, and they're just next to each other, usually by letter and number category.
Oh, you would have so much fun with their inventory.
Oh yeah, I know. I saw that media and video games.
Fun.
We learned the I wouldn't say necessarily the hard way, but we learned very fast the interest in video games. I had an old Nintendo 64, and in our very early days of firing up our account, like, maybe there'll be somebody that would like this.
Maybe we're like, why not? Like it'll sit for a while, but whatever.
Yeah, and so what's funny is I listed our Nintendo with like some of the classic games and all the hardware and stuff, and I just put like an arbitrary amount, and I put like $100, and it was like for the Nintendo, 3 controllers and all kinds of stuff, and so I had spotted that there was a problem with the listing like the second that I hit for it to activate, but by the time I went back to fix it 1 minute later, then somebody had already scooped it up, and I think it was a bot. I think they had somebody just already scanning for it. But then I went to them and I was like, hey, just so you know that there's an error in this listing. I had accidentally listed that it was the cable type that uses the red, yellow, and
It
white.
did. It
Instead
flew
of
off the shelf.
instead of it had the more advanced version. And the person
It's
wrote
like,
back like a day later, like, dude,
it was like an
I
hour
don't
later. He's
even
like, I don't
care.
even care.
Got it
Like,
at the price
yeah.
that's good.
He's like, that's great. Just send it to me. I don't care.
And Jen, yeah, it did totally fly off the shelf. Like it flew off the shelf embarrassingly fast because we did not realize that the level of interest, especially, we're talking, what we say that we really have been in reselling for the past 2 years, you'll hear us say, but also we say that it's back to the pandemic because the first 2 years we kind of dinking around with it, being
It
like,
was just like
do
almost
we,
something
yeah,
to do for fun.
just very minor. But we got serious about it about 2 years ago. So there's kind of the two differences. But yeah, it really
Even
did fly off the shelf.
Yes, serious. But I mean, yeah.
But yeah, so it did fly off the shelf. And then looking back, we're like, yeah, we really did it. Let's see. Oh, hey, cool, nice, congratulations, Silver Hair. Nice. Oh, so Carhartt. I didn't even know Carhartt made boots. I thought they were just like.
I don't think I've ever seen their boots either.
Yeah, I thought they were just like shirts and leggings. But
yeah,
that's super cool.
That is really awesome. Yeah,
Congratulations.
What they look like.
That's rocking.
Because they make such great clothes.
Hey, eBay Life is here. Hey, Carl, how you doing?
Hello.
Oh yeah, our buddy in Britain with the key provider of eBay related tips.
Yeah, you sorry. Silver Hair also said we have a pet. Yes, we have Leia. Leia. Did you? I don't know if you saw her or not. She's now distracted with her toy. She was here earlier.
I'm curious about that question. Numbers required to list.
I took that as like the quantity.
Well,
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, paid $6. Wow, way to go!
That's
totally
a great.
Cool.
Yeah, that's a great turnaround.
Yeah, and so it's interesting too. Like, so for us, I still have a full-time job. Rose's job is effectively working on the eBay stuff, and so that's a big part of her world. But yeah, so I do still have a full-time job for me, but only one of us like works a regular job. Again, it's not that we both definitely acknowledge the fact that we're both working like effectively each week more than a full 40 if you really count it up. But in terms of having an employer that you're accountable to, only I do. So that's a factor too to explain like in the setup of our business and everything. Because if you look at our churn for how long it takes us to get listings up and all that stuff, it's definitely not the quickest. But like right now, what we can speak to is how you fit in all of those things in between the full schedule that you've got. And again, we're not saying that we're the experts, but that's what we so far have worked with.
Yeah, because we have some weeks where we're really killing it, and then other weeks just due to life and things. Yeah, you don't get to do as much as you wanted to.
Yeah, totally, Silver Hair Stacker. We absolutely get that about the JVC stereo versus the 10 polo shirts. Yeah, and that's just it for us. Is like we've got a pretty quick little system now going for clothing. But what's interesting is that as you look at it, and you look at how people first get started in reselling and everything, while clothing is technically one of the least resistance to entry, where you've got it everywhere and everything. What needs to be acknowledged really for those that are first getting started is it's also a very flooded market. You can't, for a lot of items, like you've got the expert that's just ahead of you that's grabbing that $100 special Carhartt jacket versus your experience. You look and go, oh wait, Gloria Vanderbilt. That sounds like a pretty fancy name, and you start to like get into it. Like,
Gloria.
No, you can't give away people with no clothes are like, I can't do Gloria Vanderbilt. I'm just not going to. Well, hello, Kelly Debs. So wonderful to see you.
Oh yeah, and yes, Jen, it absolutely feels like you could work 24/7. We tease all the time about how it's 11:30 at night and we're still working.
Yeah, it's just always. But really quick, Kelly Debs, thank you so much for stopping in. Really glad to see you, and we'll take you even for just a few seconds if you've got the time. Stop in. We're just so happy that you're here.
Yeah,
hope you have an awesome rest of your Saturday.
Yeah.
But so Jen, I'm sure all of us on here would be like, yeah, if we just were let loose, we could totally work 24/7.
Absolutely.
And when we first got started in this, I totally was. Like I would go through my full day job, wrap that up, then get going on this. And before I knew it was like 1:00, but then I had to restart for I had to get up at 5 a.m. to be ready by 6 for my regular job. So it's one of those things where it's like, no, that burns out real fast.
Well, and during the pandemic, we were able to try to swing different hours and everything. But yeah, when you get back to everyday life, it is a little harder.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cute seeing you guys all saying hi to each other.
Oh, silver hair,
Aw.
that's so sweet. We really do appreciate that. That, you know, it's definitely one of those things where like we're just right now really enjoying
Just
this
saw his
phase of
comment.
what was that?
I just saw his comment.
Oh yeah, but right now we're really just enjoying the just first of all the generosity. What's been really great for us overall is just the morale boost
Yeah.
of all of you being like, hey, yeah, get in there. We want to have you involved. We want to hear your content, and we're over there going like, okay. I mean, maybe, yeah, but you guys have been just so
We do
generous
kind
with
of feel
us.
like we feel like the freshmen that got an invitation to the seniors party, and we're like, really, really, like, oh,
Yeah, like,
cool,
okay,
okay,
that doesn't
you,
make
you
sense.
guys
Yeah,
know we're here, right?
I think you made some kind of mistake. But no, and one thing too, I wanted to highlight. One thing I'm really grateful for is we found Primo Chemo and Spam, and really then most of the individuals that are currently on right now.
Mhm.
We found you because of James at the time, my boring reseller life, now the great reseller life, and he was constantly talking about, hey, on Primo Chemo's channel, this was brought up, this was
Right,
said,
yeah.
and we're like, wow, he's getting a lot of like really good share information from
Mhm.
Primo Chemo. And then from Primo Chemo's channel too, we found so many of you. Again, like we see on here, eBay Life. It's really nice to see those that are starting their channel and getting things figured out. Yeah, that's great. Enjoy the journey. That's the key with longevity on YouTube.
Yeah.
eBay Life, you're the one that can really preach that for sure. That you are a content producing machine. I don't know how Carl has the energy for that many videos and everything because it's stressful. At least it can be
Yeah,
when you're on there and especially as you're trying to do the dance and get it all figured out. But yeah, it's so funny. Like, but yeah, that's why we really appreciate you. It's like you're a great example for the rest of us of just like getting in there and no doubt there's days when you don't really feel like it or you don't have an interest in doing
right.
it and you do it like your content shows
Yeah,
up. So it's a good reminder for us to be consistent,
it's very reliable.
very reliable. So
Yeah.
I mean, I tell you what, we could like use a stopwatch and count the time before we can say, here's eBay Life's got you up with another one. Got you tip number 47. I love that. All right, so link to eBay Life channel. Yeah, eBay Life. Are you able to put your channel? We honestly don't even know how that works yet. So if you're able to put your channel in there, I think it's just eBay Life, right? Is that the okay?
It is what it looks like. Yeah.
I think so. Again,
It
yeah,
does say just eBay
we're
Life.
still figuring out how all of that works and operates. So eBay Life, if there's something that we have to do, let us know. We'll try to do it. We want to make sure we help out wherever possible. Because yeah, again, we are benefiting now from the community because others shared channels with us. So we want to make sure that we continue to pay that forward. Excuse me. Well, there's a little bit of revisiting the in and out experience right there. Yeah, let's see here.
I lost my comments.
Yeah, so good for James. Oh, totally. Hayfro cells and definitely Josh Galt. I mean, that's what's so hard now that we found with like the community because like we in one of our previous videos had intended to also thank Amy at the Nesbitt Experience, and when we finished the video, we totally missed it, and she was like one of the number one individuals on the list, but we just happened to start at the bottom accidentally, so it's so hard to. It's so hard, and eBay Life, no worries there. Yeah, don't stress about spamming the live. We've so far enjoyed many different forms of spam being around in the chat. So whether it's spamming a link or spam banshee being here, I realize like those are two different kinds of spam experience for sure.
Okay, so if I did that, would that share the link?
I think that should do it.
Well, let's try and see.
So actually, we did add Rose Mom as a moderator, so she might start to pop on here.
Is that the link you're asking for? I don't know.
Yeah, eBay Life. If you could try the link and see if it goes to the right channel for you, you can let us know if it's.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Rhoda. That's really cool.
We'll see if that worked. I don't know if that's the way. I don't know if there's a more proper way to do it. I'm still new to this.
Yeah, so if you have any recommendations, again, we're brand new. Hopefully, it'll be fun for all of you. I know,
like teach us how to do.
Because we're building the plane on the runway here, so it's like, all right.
If any of you saw our first live like 2 days ago, that was literally learning how to do a live for the first time.
We accidentally turned it on. We thought we were getting it scheduled. It's like, oh no, it's like right now.
Oh, it's live.
Yeah. So
Okay, cool. He said, "Yep, that works."
that works. Okay, great.
Yay! I did my first link.
Yeah, you did your first link. Good
High
job.
five.
Yeah.
That was a major win.
Yeah, that was a major win. That's and it's actually good too that I did jump on before and I was like, I will just make you a channel moderator just in case.
Yeah.
And this situation.
Well, when he
totally
said you have to be a mod, I'm like, I'm a mod. I can do that.
Well, Jen, you're extremely kind. Yeah, we're just a few videos in on this, and we're like,
we're still very.
Yeah, we want it to be fun, but then we don't want to. We don't want it to go off track or.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, Mike Seller. Thank you very much for confirming
cool.
as well.
Okay, so that is how.
And so, Mike, I see you on here a lot too. We don't know, what do you sell? What's your jam?
What is your jam? It'd be funny if you just put jelly.
What's your jam? It's jelly.
It's jelly.
You stinker.
Mm-hmm.
Life, that's very kind.
We're just having fun.
Oh, Silverhead Stacker, thank you very much for supporting a fellow
nice.
a fellow supporter here. That's so nice. I mean, we're really,
that's awesome.
We're all in this together. That's why too. It's really personally hard for me. Like if I see a reseller having another hard time with another reseller in the community and everything, because it's like seeing this starting from scratch, you realize how absolutely hard it is. But especially too, if you had that extra element of kind of being in view as you're working on your process and everything. And so it's just like we just want to jump in there and be like, hey, everybody, just be cool. Everybody, just be cool. Just don't worry about it.
Yeah, because we're all trying to figure it out.
So my personal junk. Hey, you know what?
Yeah, that's totally.
We're still doing that right now. Our personal junk is a part of the usual routine of what makes it to.
Oh yeah, we tease all
vinyl. Yeah, to John Deere, man. Yeah, we've been there, man. Our first vinyl we ever sold was a Taylor Swift vinyl, which was really funny.
That thing was cool. I kind of wanted to keep it. We just didn't have a record player.
Yeah.
We tease all the time. Like if it doesn't have a heartbeat, it can be sold.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. That's the rule in our household. Everything can be sold as long as it doesn't have a heartbeat.
We tell Leia she's safe. We're like, don't worry about you, but your bed might be sold.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Yeah, don't get too comfortable on the dog bed. But no, it's yeah, that's so cool. Everything vinyl is a John Deere, man. And so for you, Mike, is it difficult to have a range? Because one thing we found that's really a challenge we're still trying to address is how to balance the shipping materials that you have on hand.
That is really hard.
Yeah, because I mean, one thing we found out is like, as you're trying to ship clothes versus toys and everything, it's like, okay, so now we have to have poly mailers and we have to have boxes, and
not just boxes in every size you can possibly imagine.
In our very early days, a little side funny note, I'm not going to talk about our feedback because so far things are going okay. However, I will say that in the early days, we were like, hey, as long as we wrap it enough bubble wrap, like we can ship like this little portable oven in like a poly mailer. And we got a rage message that was like, that was our hand slap. That she never gave us negative feedback.
She never, no. And honestly, we kind of think that she was just complaining to complain, because we feel very happy with the job that we did. So what did she complain about too?
And rightly so. It should have been shipped in like a cardboard box. And the fact that it was
shipped in a cardboard
box. No,
it
was shipped in a poly with just a ton of bubble wrap.
Bubble wrap? Do we not have a box?
Yeah, it was such an odd shaped like oven thing, and we were so new to figuring everything out. But
okay, well then actually, yeah,
we're pretty sure that it arrived safe. But she was just like, yeah, but you should ship it in your box and everything. And we're like, respect. I mean, so again, she wasn't wrong. Don't walk away from this being like, I don't know what Major Win is saying. They clearly were in the wrong here. We were in the wrong. All I mean to say is that we learned very quickly that you have to really be smart about the fact that
shipping is
if it's a heavy metal object, no amount of bubble wrap you ship it in is going to replace the value of a cardboard box.
It did arrive fine. It was okay.
Yeah, she did send us pictures of it. It's like it looks pretty much 100%.
Yeah.
And looking back, we sold the oven at like a quarter of the
price. I know it was a good deal, which is why I think she didn't leave us bad feedback or anything, because she knew she got a great deal. But still, yeah.
But I mean,
it wasn't great.
And that was our lesson of not leaving the door open for a reason.
Right.
To reach out and complain.
And now we have boxes in every size and mattress.
And now we have boxes in every size. We will never, ever, ever do that again.
Jen's comment. It's funny how things you never thought you would sell are now fair game.
Okay.
That's so true.
And Silver Hair, just so that we're clear, we've never shipped anything in a cereal box. Like I know that's been in the community. That is definitely a thing of like,
okay.
Yeah, like don't ship it in these haphazard
that
materials.
Phrase though, challenge accepted. I almost know.
No, babe. No, there's no challenge accepted here. No pizza box. No.
Oh, a pizza box.
No, so that's what Jen just said on the
An
chat.
unused pizza box. Could you imagine going into a pizzeria and being like, "Hi, yes, I'd like pizza. Can I have an extra box?" And they'd be like, "What for?" Don't worry about it. And then you ship somebody in a piece. But those boxes are pretty sturdy, especially if it's not like an extra large.
Don't give anybody ideas. Like, we're using the major way method.
Jen gave me an idea. I like it. I'm done with it.
No way. But just so you know, we're totally joking. We would never ship.
But sending a gift to a friend, I think I might send
as a joke.
in a pizza box.
Yeah, if it's a joke. Actually, well, and Ro loves to send like joke gifts and everything. Yes. When she had a little nephew being born, she packed up a gift in one of those joke boxes that says like "my first fire kit," and she was like a little kid playing with fire.
It was
her brother loved
baby shower. Yeah, it was lovely. Unwrapped it, and it was very hazardous. All these terrible things of what a baby can do with a fire kit. It was awesome.
Yeah, and so so we're talking about a time when we're very early stages. Now we've got
our fair game.
Yeah, we've got very professional looking. I shouldn't say very, but we try to always now ensure that we have professional materials that we pack things up with for individuals that are going to be receiving things, especially too because we now have a greater understanding of what it really is a reseller community, and if we're a bad seller and if we make an unprofessional experience, it doesn't just scare somebody away from us as a seller, it scares them away from the platform.
Yeah.
And when you really kind of are conscientious of that it's like, hey, we're not just separate residents in the same hotel building here. Like we are kind of, whether we like it or not, we are reflecting on each other and the ability for each other to be able to make a good relationship with buyers. That once we had that mindset, then it really changed our approach to packing. So all right,
I'm getting so many ideas.
Just because there's gonna be kids watching this, we're not gonna say that one out loud.
So many ideas.
But that is very comical. That is
my
super
brothers
funny.
Will enjoy this. I hope they don't watch this so that I can.
That is so funny. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, yeah, we're not. We've never been there. Let's see here. So that's also true. eBay Life. Yeah, I think once Amazon came on the scene, then it created this weird dynamic where all previously, for any of us that have been around technology since like the mid 90s, all we had really known for online shopping was eBay, which again was advertised as the world's largest garage sale or whatever. And so then you got Amazon that comes on the scene and says, no, it's going to be sleek, it's going to be quick, and it's going to be organized, and the user experience is going to be consistent across the board. And then I think
where we kind of like to one up Amazon is that's true. They're very professional, but they're a huge store. They're kind of cold. They're impersonal. Where that's why we like to. I mean, especially when we first started, I was extreme. Like I get it, but I would even wrap up with like those iridescent little ribbons, and I would wrap it in and make it look like a little gift. And that's something Amazon will not do. They won't send you like a personalized card, and they won't make it look pretty. And we have that ability to do that if we choose to.
That's true, but that's also difficult to scale too. That's why
it's almost impossible to scale.
Yeah, so that's something that we're like kind of concerned about for when we grow more, is because we like that part of it.
To keep it personal,
especially for Ro, she loves like, hi, specific individual. We hope that you love this very specific thing for the very specific purpose that we're imagining using this for.
Because that's how I would like to get a package. So
totally. I mean, I love it. Ro tries to send it like it's a gift to a friend. And we don't always get that right, but we try. And so
sometimes my friends send my gifts back. It happens.
That's right. Yeah. Sometimes they wholesale reject your gift and still would like to not be happy. But yeah, for us, we're really trying to see what we can do to keep that kind of experience, even if it doesn't stay exactly the same as we continue to grow. But I mean, right now for the amount of sales we make daily, it's slowing us down a little bit, but it's still manageable, and we still like to do it for our buyers.
Well, and Mike said that he has finally gotten his sales to a level where he can justify new boxes and envelopes because it is an expense.
Yeah.
And especially because we like to buy so many. Stop smelling my In and Out. Go away.
She's like, I think you got more hamburgers.
She's smelling my In and Out. Okay.
All right. She's like, all right.
Yeah, because when we buy our boxes, we do try to buy in bulk and everything, but because we do need so many different sizes, when you are buying them, it's an annoying expense.
Yeah. Oh, Spam Banshee just made a great point that Amazon throws an item the size of a thimble in a box the size of a car.
That is also so true.
That is absolutely comical.
Yeah,
sure.
it is a little frustrating sometimes when you get these huge boxes that you have to break down for something that's like this big in there.
Yeah.
Although I do like to steal that packing material and I will reuse it.
Yeah, we have.
Like, thank you very much, Amazon.
You would think that we are working for Amazon as much as because we have to order some necessary things from Amazon.
We use Jen's way. I reuse decent boxes. Absolutely, we reuse boxes too, because also it's much better for the environment. It's very good to reuse those boxes if they can be reused. Obviously, if they're decent. Because if they have Amazon stickers, we'll just use our eBay tape over it and we'll reuse them. But no one has ever complained about that. And even if they ever did, it's like, it's for the environment. This box has life. Use it again.
Yeah, because actually, if you look at our eBay, I keep wanting to say channel now, but if you look at our eBay store, and she's going to shake out another toy. But if you look at our eBay store and you look at kind of our introduction to us, we highlight the fact that we are trying to legitimately keep things out of like a landfill. If you can hear that over the sound of a dog toy shaking. But we are trying to keep things out of a landfill. And so if we do have boxes, if they're in good shape, we'll reuse them. But we do our best to send good boxes, not trash boxes.
The Cornhusker's comment, get a UPS account. Is that UPS or USPS? Because for those boxes, I'm wondering, do you mean like I'm going out of screen. Do you mean like the flat rate boxes? Or are you actually talking about UPS? Just because I'm kind of curious. Because we will, of course, we will use flat rate materials from USPS. But
she's fighting me off.
And then the 3-inch tape or the 2-inch tape?
She's like,
it's playtime. I have not gone for a walk today. I'm ready to go. She's like, don't you take that toy from me?
That is so funny. She's like, I don't care what you're doing.
And then are you asking Silverhair? I don't know if you're asking if the size of the tape we use. I think we use the 2-inch eBay tape. I think. And then Biff, I just go with her. Go. Yeah, she's getting very rowdy, so we're having her go in the back. But yeah, I think for the tape that we use, I think that's what you're asking about, the eBay tape. Yeah, I think it's just the 2-inch tape that we kind of cover over the Amazon tape. We don't really care if it shows up. Okay, so yeah, you're saying UPS, 3 boxes, but I don't ship anything UPS. Yeah, we don't use UPS too much either. But I don't ship anything.
Yeah, just a straight up discussion about materials would be really beneficial, because that's a struggle for so many, especially as you're first getting started. You don't have a lot of cash coming in. It's really a challenge because in order to get good traction, it has to present a professional experience. But to invest all that money to get it going and everything could really be costly. So yeah, it's that would be an interesting discussion for how everything is going. To do store followers by the end of the year.
Yeah, that's
yeah, Biff Buffalo, keep us posted on that. We'd be really interested to see like 500 more, because definitely for us,
we haven't done that.
Yeah, when we have really loyal followers of our eBay store, but I mean we still have only like around 280 followers of our store. So that's something we're trying to really continue to build. Like, everyone seems to have a really great experience and everything, but one thing we're having to revisit right now is
because we have people following us for specific things, and then
and that could be sparse. Like, we'll have a batch of clothing, but then it'll be a month later before we go back on toys or something.
Right. Or we have a bunch of people that follow us just for baseball cards, and we're not as into baseball cards this year as we have been in previous years. So yeah,
no problem, Biff Buffo. Yeah, if you just want to keep us posted on how things are going, you don't have to share
that's fine.
Yeah, you do not have to share your eBay store by any means, and feel no pressure on here at all. Yeah, I get it, to keep the stats and metrics pure. We went back and forth and debated on that, but ultimately we figured for us that if we are honest and we just share what our store is, that you'll probably come at us and say, hey, you know what, here is something that I think is really broken, and we can we can look at it, kind of weigh it, and figure it out, and say, you know what, that change does make sense. Like again, like the one that Primo and Spam made about our photo size and the type switching it to square. That was really good advice, and so that's something that we probably would have taken longer to figure out. Well, we know we would have taken
Yeah,
longer to figure out
absolutely.
if
Because
they
we weren't even
hadn't
really
provided
thinking
that to
about
us.
that. Yeah.
That being said, fully respect the desire to keep the metrics pure, especially because then you get a lot of looky-loos coming in
Absolutely.
that I
It
just want to
drops
see what
it
your
drops
strokes
your
like
numbers. Yeah.
without purchasing, and that could definitely screw things up
Yeah, you do have to weigh
for
it out.
sure.
But that does sound pretty cool.
Oh, so very accurate. I love it. That's so funny.
Ah, gotta love the community. We keep each other on our toes.
Yeah. I'm not buying into this whole like age thing, Silver Hair Stacker, man, because you just got it locked in. You're not nothing's slowing you down at all. But yeah, that is so funny. But yeah, well, hey, we're a little bit over an hour. You guys have been more than generous with your time.
You guys have been awesome.
We want it to be something refreshing and not a drag when you pop in.
But we are probably going to start our morning coffee.
Yeah, you guys' feedback has been really encouraging for that. But it'll be really good if we could do the morning coffee
and let us know also if there are particular days that you think might be more encouraging, better to do. Because even if it is like on a weekend or something, we're just trying to come up with a schedule so that we can be held accountable, and then also so that you guys know where we're going to be too.
Yeah, we don't want to step on any of the other lives too.
I know that's the other thing. Yeah, we're trying to like stay away from not disrupt anybody else's. Oh, Spam, that's so sweet. Thank you very much.
So Stacker, you're hilarious. I love it. That's so good. We'll get along just fine because I'm such a jokester. I love that kind of stuff. That is great.
Yeah, but that's like the only reason why we're here. So you can say it's second up, but we're just being honest.
That is so funny. But yeah, so that's so funny too. So as we get things scheduled, if we're starting to like accidentally overlap with another live that you like to watch, we have no intention of trying to steal anybody else's thunder when it comes to their time and their allotment. But also too, we realize that there's some major players in the reseller community that we just don't even have awareness of yet. That we might accidentally then. And the last thing we want to do is come in on the scene and then be on these videos where it's like, who are these hotshots think that they are trying to take my time slot of anything? Absolutely. Again, we want to be your fellow journeyers here.
Well, and once again, like I said, we were trying to think of what's something that would be helpful for us and helpful for everybody else.
Yeah.
And we were kind of thinking if there was like a start and an end. I mean, like what Jen said, you never end your day. You're always working.
Yeah, it's always some kind of work. But
if there is like a start of the day where you can kind of be like, okay, these are my goals for today. This is what I would like to accomplish. And man, shoot for the stars. You never know. But then at the end of the day, when you're like, I did not get half of the things. Okay, but what did you do? What are you proud of? Still.
Okay, so see, already the time that we said would be overlapping with Silver Hair Stacker, because if it's 8 o'clock Central, isn't that Central is 2 hours ahead of Pacific Standard Time? So that would be right at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
So we'd have to figure that out to where we don't want to disrupt you. But actually, Silverhair didn't even know you had a channel. That's totally
I know.
rocking,
I didn't know you had one at 8 a.m. Now we know on Mondays. Oh, yeah. Monday through Friday? You do 5 days?
Oh, no, Monday and Friday.
Oh, okay. I don't know why my brain read that. I think I saw the dash after Friday and then my brain put it the other way around. Okay, Monday and Friday.
Well, one thing we could do then, if you're not doing anything Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday morning at around 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, then we could do ours just like midweek or something. And that would actually give us a break on Mondays and Fridays too.
That's not a bad idea.
Okay, Monday, then
Friday.
Monday,
then Friday.
Yeah, well, we'll continue to have that discussion. I mean, we'll probably have to ask a few other key players that, again, we learn from all the time that we don't want to all step on them or.
And then also what makes it a little, because he does actually have a normal job, so we kind of have to go around his.
Hey, Josh Galt is here. Wow,
hey, Josh.
Now that is truly bizarre. Josh, we've been like ninja watching you for so long, getting great tips and insights and experience and everything, and watching you remain cool when others give you a hard time too, which is like, if you're here earlier, it's always hard for us to watch when a fellow individual we've been watching for a while gets a hard time.
Okay, I don't know. What
But
are
thank you very much, Josh. Really do appreciate you stopping in. I know you're busy, but super appreciate it. Hope your project with your warehouse and your 7 storage units ends up going really well. But we've been
Yeah,
following
that's
that
right.
and loving it. It's been, I mean, granted, we know we're not loving the fact that you're having to deal with all like the rodent garbage, but we're really glad though that you
Sounds like an
stopped in.
awesome prospect.
Yeah, yeah. There's got to be some real gold nuggets in there for you. So we're happy for you.
38 years.
No way.
Wow.
Wow, that's incredible, Silverhair. That's so cool. Well,
Wow.
we'll be jumping in as a sub and listening and everything. I'm trying to be much better about not blowing up the chats. Again, it's all in good fun and trying to be productive, but I get so much joy out of it. But yeah,
We
so
love
but
Josh.
Josh Galt, yeah, you just stop being those.
Okay, what
That's a
are the
major
emojis Spam just
that's a
used?
major
Are
gift.
those beans or I can't tell what those are.
Oh, are those like rodent paws? No, bean. Oh, bean, bean, bean. Oh, that's so
Oh,
yes.
duh.
Bean, bean, bean. Yeah, that is so awesome. Love that. Bean, 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 bean,
Thank
bean,
you
bean.
for dumbing that down for me. I needed that.
Well, and
Because I'm like,
Silverhair,
I know what that is. I just don't know what that is.
Silverhair, I assumed you were talking about combined years. Yeah, obviously YouTube hasn't been around for 3 years. It's like it was before the internet. It was before the internet. We've been on YouTube, but yeah, I figured it was combined years. But that's great.
I figured it was combined years too.
Yeah, Silverhair, you got a story, and we need to hear it, okay? Because you're like Silverhair's being coy, but it's like you got some stories. But yeah. Well, anyways, you guys, we've already been a few extra minutes. We super appreciate you. You're totally rocking,
Yeah.
and thanks again. You being such a big help and support, and we're just grateful. We remain humbled and grateful that you guys even take a minute out for us. But we'll keep, and so these lives, we're gonna try to tighten them up so that as you come in
They're
here, you
more
feel
organized.
yeah, that they're more organized, and that you feel really good about when you spend time here, that it's actually productive. You feel like some helpful tips were shared, or maybe it's a first time or it's
Aloha.
reinforced. But aloha,
Oh,
I want to try to do the spam aloha goodbye. Aloha. I can't do it. She did such a good job at aloha. I love it.
I
That's like
love you
one of
and
the best
I'm
parts.
supporting you in everything you do, but yeah, you didn't do this.
I know. I'm not trying to do it justice. I'm just trying to do it's like aloha. She does such a good job at the aloha. But yeah, thank you guys so much. It's been an absolute delight, and we'll catch you on the next
yeah,
one.
we'll
And
figure out some good times.
yeah, we'll figure out a schedule for these lives too, so that they're not always a surprise and throwing everybody off. But in the meantime, it's been a joy. So we'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.